What is a high value man? That's a really good question. And I'm going to share my own experiences and my opinion about this term in this video. And high value man is something that I have been following like like subconsciously and not actively. I didn't know about it, but then afterwards I realized that perhaps that's what I've been following. I'm not completely sure, but I will tell you short first about what is a high value man. It's generally a man with this type of surface level qualities, financial success, career accomplishments, and attractive physical appearance and social status. Shortly, LMS: looks, money, and status. And when I have been following that, for examples, we have evidence for that. When I started studying at the university, I got into the business school and studied marketing. But before that, I had a study position for a engineering degree, and it was about audio media. You could specialize in that, but I didn't choose to go there into start that education. I applied, and then I got into the business school, which is the high status, highly accredited, and a good business school here in Finland. And I like here afterwards, I see that, okay, why did I do that? It was although I loved studying marketing, I love human behavior and behavioral science, and like understand how people make decisions, and also for a commerce in commerce, a business perspective on that. I really like that, but it was not for what I actually wanted, because after that I started studying psychology in the Open University, and I love that. I love studying psychology. So if I would have chosen differently, if I could do that, I would have gone into psychology and not business school at that moment. But then also the where you decide to study, that's also dependent on the area where you have to move. If you have to move and where it is located, and I wanted to study in this town, so then I went to the business school. So that was also, of course, an explanation there. But then I don't have any friends, really. Some friends, yeah, that have studied also, but I don't have any family relatives that have studied business. My dad was a salesperson, and but then that's the closest. He was not an entrepreneur, but he was in sales, and he's good at it. But he didn't teach me. He didn't talk about sales for me. So I somehow, maybe I wanted to somehow please him, that I show that I'm also interested in that type of stuff. But I wanted a high degree, high education, and I did that. I can't tell why, but you can speculate, but the speculations are perhaps not true. I don't know. You don't know. You never know why you make decisions when you're young, in my opinion, or also when you're older. How can you know that why you do things? But you can do that by becoming more self-aware. And that's what I have become now, because if I would have studied psychology, I would have a completely different life. And I started also studying at the Open University. Then I studied business, I graduated, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I also realized that that's not enough to get a job, to get a good job, because you need to have contacts, need to have network, which is your net worth. And if you don't have that, because I don't have relatives, I don't have friends that have that type of influential positions that could help me out. So that's much more difficult for you. So I can, of course, be the first one in my family for my kids to do something similar, and they will have a much easier time to go and pursue a higher education. So it's of course I see that's possible for becoming for the future, but for me myself personally, I went for this status, like business school, and also with money, like, because I want to have, like, give the impression that I have a lot of money, that I'm not poor at least. And I have made, like, I save a lot of money. I don't have a lack of money. I make sure that I don't, but I'm not rich. Like, it's always relative. I realized that you will never be satisfied. You can always have more. You can always have higher status. You can always have more money. You can always look better. And also I have it with looks also. I was very self-aware and self-conscious, and just did a lot of stuff to make my appearance be better, to look better. And also went to the other way to be like more like frightening and like, because I'm into metal music, and that was of course my style, and I wanted to be have high status in that area, and that people would find me attractive in that area. So people who are also into metal music, they would find me attractive. But at the same time, also I want to be intimidating, and so just how I look, and also with the status to be to make people afraid, and also to keep them at a distance. So it's a little bit counterintuitive. I wanted connection. I wanted to have the status. I want to be known. But I also wanted to keep people at a distance. But that's maybe a part of being like high status, that you don't really are not really close to people, and you keep them at the distance. I don't know. But that's what I did, and it was a tough time in a way. But then finally, I left it. I didn't pursue it anymore. Now I'm more into the journey of my values, the strengths, what I'm actually good at, and what do I enjoy, and to be happy, and to have to enjoy life, and to feel a sense of joy and happiness. That's much better than, because if you have the looks, money, and status, like you can have that and still be miserable as a person. It doesn't create good feelings necessarily, and that's maybe what I thought, but I realized it really doesn't. Not for me. And also have seen many examples of miserable people, but they have a lot of money, and they have a good job, but then they have a bad relationship, or they are single and they stay single, and they are very demanding. They can't just find a partner. That's what you see with many people today. So you just should work on acceptance, be okay with what you have, and see it as a journey, and you can still be productive and achieve things, and while you are not like pushing yourself and talking to yourself critically. You have just this inner critic that just tells you how that you should push yourself. For it became for me like I fixed what I can do. I didn't do anything like permanent changes to myself, which can do, and many men do today. They use makeup and all that stuff, and also a lot of stuff that are permanent changes for you, and that's. Luckily, I didn't do that, but maybe if I would be young today, maybe I would have. So I just fixed my eyebrows, things like that. I tried to my belly fat, that I would have abs, that I couldn't like stand that I need to push it in. I thought I have to push it in and push it away. No belly fat can't be there like anything, even though I wasn't overweight, but I couldn't stand the idea that I had it. This was all in my head, and my ideas that if I have this and you do that, and then I have the status. I knew I didn't have money because I was young. It didn't matter, and yeah. So the looks and status was important for me, and then I just, after my graduation, I thought that I don't want to do this type of chasing the status. When I decided to let it go. Not my motivation, not that I wanted to achieve things that I wanted, but I let go the focus on external rewards and external things, and going more to the internal, what I actually want. I started reading books again. I started to study psychology, things that I enjoy, which was then psychology. I discovered that because I thought it was not allowed before. In a way, I'm still masculine. I feel that as a man, I'm proud to be a man and to be masculine. But not like unhealthy, or so then you go into the divine masculine, which is like a balanced masculine, or what you call it. It's not for me nothing at all connected to religion. I'm not a religious person, so it's like I'm just a masculine person. And also embrace that and accept it, because I didn't do that before. I was lost. Like many men and many young people, and also women, they are lost. But then for me, then I felt that to be a masculine man is not accepted. So even though I expressed that and I wanted to be that, because in metal music that's very in my opinion, masculine. It's tough and it's loud and fast music, and I like that type of stuff. And my lights went off, so I need to finish this video with low lighting, and so the quality is not that really the best one here, but the most important is that the audio is working and you can hear what I say. More about high value men is that women want this type of men because then they can depend on them. Some women still want to be dependable on men because of course they understand that if I find a man who has a lot of money, status, then I can follow this man and I want to be with this man. That's so obvious. Like in the animal world, we are animals as other mammals. We have the status levels, and if you have more resources, you are seen as being able to better care for the reproduction, for the children you get. So these have like obvious natural explanations. So then for me, then okay, I want, as a young dude, I want the women. Of course, I want to have the most beautiful women and want to explore that. Of course, who wouldn't like to have? And so then I also understood, like, if you have money, status, and looks, then it's about the women. And I like, for me it's completely natural, and because guys talk about that, talk about women, of course, what you do, you want to attract women. There's nothing weird about that. It's completely natural. So that's what we have, but we can see about the high value men. Then we go into a high quality man, which is also then something differently. These high quality men can be seen to apply this divine masculine. For example, they are still masculine, but not this bad, let's say, what could macho, for example, a macho man. So because they then can't express certain areas of themselves. They are more limited. Also, you have more boundaries, and you have to live a certain way. And I didn't want to do that. In my mind I had like, okay, I need to be a certain way, but then I want to be more free. I want to be more let's say, flexible. And then I started working on that. I still have my masculine core with also some feminine skills, or like skilled out, but let's say, how then you say it, like feminine, I don't know what they call it. In a way, I'm not so focused and thinking so much about masculine, feminine. It's like that's just energies, that's just the way how you express yourself and capacities. That's not really that important in a way, but people still talk about them a lot. And as a man, you should be proud to be who you are, however you are, and masculinity is then a big part of being a man. So to somehow not accept the masculine parts of yourself as a man, then you are not really strong as a man, in my opinion. And you can then define masculinity however you want it to be defined, but to say that as a man, I'm not masculine at all, and then that's fine. Okay, that's also possible, and you can still be strong, but then not really strong. You have to have some capacities out there. If you deny parts of yourself as a man or as a woman, you are not your strongest. You are not at your full potential, because it's like you're having like you force them to be trapped in yourself. Parts of yourself are trapped. So that's my opinion about that. I see that is important. So when we have the differences between the high value man and the high quality man, then we have like, we can compare success versus character. The high value is the success, and the other one is the character. You develop character. You also look at the journey and to what's important in your life, how you can help other people, how you can create value. And it's not less about yourself and external things. It's more about the internal and things like honesty, kindness, and empathy, for example. And the high value man is more about the external, and the other one is internal. That's the journey for me, from the external to in the internal. And when I did that, it was very good for me, even though I'm already introspective. And you get advice: you should focus on the external, you should focus on the internal. You should, what I say, you should find out where should I put my focus, what helps me, because for me, like, I was always focusing on the external, what other people might think about me and how they see me, and that was not good for me. So then I should start focusing on myself, what I feel, what I experience first. Because what I did before was that I first focused on what other people was how they were possibly seeing me. So I imagine myself, how I present myself, and that direction. And then in myself, internally, it created some emotions and insecurity around that, because I could never know, and I can't read minds, and I couldn't be sure what they actually were thinking. So it didn't work. So then so for me, I had to go to start with myself and internal, and then put myself out there, and then after that you take in what other people say and do, and how they see me is like, yeah, of course you want to present yourself good in a good way, but it doesn't really matter how other people see me, because I'm just myself. That's what I'm working on. You can easily say that, okay, I'm just myself and I do whatever I want, but that's not always possible, not for all people. Some people maybe, but I don't believe that if you are well functioning and normal, so to say, you are influenced by what other people say and do. And then the high value man is attractive. You attract the girls. That's more like for young people and the teenagers. That's completely normal. And then when you get older, you're supposed to leave this behind, to have this less of this status and external rewards. But then some people are left with that, and they get quite empty and miserable. And then we have the high quality man is more compatible, and they are a good partner, and you can trust them, and also for the future. So they are actually the good men. The high quality man is the good men, and the high value is then, it just looks good in the moment, but it's not, they be so sustainable, and the long term is not really that good. And you can also have both. You can integrate these two. But I'm more for the journey, for the internal, and to be productive in that way. Because if you are like this only external, you get this. You just do things and you're very effective, but are you really that valuable? And are you feeling good, or are you just burning out? So that's what I wanted to share about high value man and high quality man and masculinity. And then just when you have it like aligned, when you understand it, then you just leave it alone, and then you just live your life. Many people say that you can't ever talk about masculinity and femininity. You should just be who you are. But that's really important, that we define who we are, and that we follow our values and what's important to us, and also that we realize, is there parts of me that I don't allow and accept? Is it like, I can't say that masculinity, I'm a man and I'm a masculine, because masculinity is all bad. Like, that's very limiting for you as a person. I'm not talking about what it means and how it means, like if it's true or not, but it's just, if you say that, then it's like, I can perhaps see parts of myself that could be me, but I push them down. I don't allow them because I see them as bad. Why would you do that? Doesn't matter what other people think. Doesn't matter what society thinks. You be you, and you allow yourself to be. And that's what I started doing. And then in a way, I changed to who I actually wanted to be and who I actually am. And I couldn't be that as long as I didn't do that. I couldn't do that as long as I didn't accept parts of me that, okay, I'm a man. I'm proud to be masculine. I also have feminine parts of me that I want to show and apply, and I don't care what other people think. I don't listen to people that want me to be more masculine or more feminine. Like, that doesn't really matter. You should never let anyone else tell you how you should be and who you should be, because we already have so many ideas and thoughts in our own minds and in our inner critic, and if we have a strong inner critic, like we already we that take care of us, that we do the right things. What we should do is allow more and be more of ourselves, not tell other people how you should be and how you should not be, because I don't. That's why I don't do that. I have opinions of other things, and if someone is telling other, I can say that don't tell how other people should be, and then in a way I'm telling other people that they shouldn't do that. And so that's an example where I also tell other people how they shouldn't be, because I see that they tell other people how to be. So of course we all do that, but I just, yeah. So if you understand this, you will be quite fine, and yeah, just continue be you. Follow for more, and comment and like if you have something to comment. And see you in the next one video. I'm TV checking out. Bye.